India has some of the best hospitals in the world, but yet patients face long queues, unclear communication, and unpredictable billing. What, in your view, is fundamentally broken?
The focus on patient is become a least priority. The highest priority has become the building big infrastructure of hospitals, getting 500, 700, 800 beds in the hospital. Then the priority moves on to filling these beds and getting the return on investment, high investment which goes into these setting up this infrastructure, high-end technology, medical devices, and that's I think the broken piece.
Dizziness, lightheadedness, and vertigo, they are almost used interchangeably. From a clinical standpoint, how are these different?
To put it scientifically, and what the scientific world accepts now, all these things come under a umbrella term called vestibular symptoms. Vestibular symptoms are basically three. It can be vertigo, it can be unsteadiness, and it can be dizziness.
We often talk about mental health only when something goes wrong, when there is a breakdown or when there is a crisis. What if when people start taking it as an everyday practice?
Our mental health has to be given the same level of importance as we give it to our physical health. As we do all our normal activities, eating, exercising, or anything, which is a part of our normal day, certain things we have to do every day for our mental health as well.
And what is the most dangerous mistake people make during this season?
जंगलों को काट रहे हैं, आबादी को बढ़ा रहे हैं, बिल्डिंग्स ऊंची ऊंची, रेगुलर कंस्ट्रक्शन, पार्टिकल्स जा रहे हैं हवा में. ये त्रासदी जो है डे बाय डे इट्स इंक्रीजिंग एंड इट्स फॉर द वर्स.
तो ऐसे कौन से इनविजिबल सिम्टम्स हैं जो यूजुअली पीपल इग्नोर अंटिल इट बिकम्स मोर क्रिटिकल?
हेडेक, आदमी को हेडेक हो रहा है, खांसी आ रही है, खांसी सोचते आ गई, खांसी है, भूल गए. सुस्ती आ रही है, बिस्तर से उठने को वक्त हो गया उठने का लेकिन मन नहीं कर रहा है. एग्जॉशन, मसल क्रैम्प्स.
Why do you think still in India diagnostic is not reaching patients first before the disease does?
It happens in, I think, the way our culture and mindset is defined. Our healthcare has always been decided like is sickness oriented.
Yeah.
Never a wellness oriented.
Wellness oriented, yes.
Diagnosis is something if you do well in time. Let's understand that the value of diagnosis before the disease happens. And this is exactly what we are all trying to talk to people today. New generation is very well aware. They are talking about it. They are still the preventive focus is happening. Predictive is happening. But still, I think health again, I'd probably say a lot matters on the cost front here. And there's still a mindset. The test should be done when you're not well. Why do you want to do it? I think it's growing awareness, mindset, and of course, you can say affordability.
India is often called as the diabetes capital of the world. Despite growing awareness, preventive healthcare remains underutilized, as you know. So why do you think people still seek medical help only when symptoms get severe?
It's also a cultural and a systemic issue. And also, it's the lack of screening on a large base. When you talk about diabetes evolves over 10-15 years. But before that, there's pre-diabetes. And before that, there's rising rates of fasting glucose. So the earlier you pick up your biomarkers, your blood biomarkers, and you see a trend of rising insulin levels, it's very clear that you are headed in the direction where you're going to get pre-diabetes or diabetes. Unfortunately, 50% of the cases of pre-diabetes are undiagnosed because people are not aware of it, people don't know what to do about it, and people don't want to get tested. That brings us back to, instead of disease care, when you actually have disease, you have to shift to a proactive model of preventive health care.
So do you also think that families often confuse access to big hospitals to quality elder care? And what is the biggest misunderstanding here?
It's not just in elders, it's a perception amongst most people. बीमारी 10 दिन की होगी है, बड़े हॉस्पिटल में जाना है. Now that's a perception. The families take decisions on behalf of the elders and they feel that their burden will be lessened if they go to a bigger hospital where they'll be looked after in totality and they themselves will have to have a lesser burden. So it is not so much of the disease that forces them to go to a bigger hospital, it is higher level of care. So this is a big myth and makes elders land up in major hospitals for no rhyme or reason.
The whole trust on the private doctors and the private corporate hospitals is somewhere lost. That trust is missing. That trust is deteriorating. We have to come up with a model wherein the investment burden is not that high. The promoters and the operators of such large hospitals are compromised inpatient care and the patient preference. So that's why micro hospital fills that gap. You can have 20 specialties and give importance to all these specialties, and you can have proper match of good inpatient admission, match of critical care, match of good mix of surgeries, what you can do. So all those combined is a very profitable, very sustainable model. Also, people have started looking at better accessibility, hospitals nearby where they can go easily for follow-ups. All those things are being felt in the community. That's why the community will drive the chain of micro hospitals. The community will drive the need of such smaller setup of hospitals. And that's why this is the future.